Charlie, I'm afraid I'm gonna need help with this one. Susan, I need your help for a minute.
What do you want, Daniel?
I need your help just for a minute with this trick. Do you know you've got that on wrong?
No, I haven't. I'm protecting myself as well as others. I'm a caring individual, as you very well know, Daniel Madison.
Whatever. Can you help me with this trick, please, Susan?
Oh, typical, isn't it, Charlie? Once again, Daniel Madison wanting to use me to get FaceTube views.
Susan, all I'm asking you to do is shuffle these playing cards.
I'm only flipping around. I'd love to help. Let me shuffle your deck.
I am Daniel Madison and this is Perfect Aces. The magician invites his participant to shuffle a deck of playing cards. Once thoroughly shuffled, he takes them back and spreads them face up on the table, and for a few moments he looks through the deck, closes the deck, and then proceeds to write down 4 different playing cards on a piece of paper. He places that piece of paper face down so nobody can see what he has written. He hands the pen to the participant and invites her to write down 4 different numbers between 1 and 52. In our case, 7, 12, 18, 22. The magician then takes the playing cards and proceeds to deal, stopping at each number written down by our participant. 7, 12, 18, 22. Once those 4 playing cards have been dealt from the deck, the magician stands back. He invites his participant to turn those playing cards over. After revealing what appears to be 4 random playing cards, the magician then invites his participant to turn over the piece of paper to find 4 perfect predictions. He then invites his participant to react accordingly. Susan, Charlie, it's happened again. I am Daniel Madison and this is Perfect Aces. I am Daniel Madison, welcome back and thanks for being here, Charlie Madison, and I truly appreciate you choosing to spend a bit more time with us today. So, the last video, the response to Diamonds was huge, incredible, overwhelming. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun doing a premiere and spending a lot of time in that live chat room next to the video. I had so much fun in there. I'm gonna do that a few more times, I think. I think that's a good way to move forward, don't you, Charlie? And thank you to everybody who's been so understanding, following my little rant in that video about people complaining about long videos. It turns out the audience for the big videos is much bigger than I anticipated, so thank the deck giveaway. So many people got in the comments to put a smile on my face, so I'm going to do the deck giveaway, give all these playing cards to somebody at the end of this video. But right now, let's focus on the point of this video, to follow up Diamonds. The premise, the whole point of Diamonds came from something called Perfect Aces, and I'm going to teach everything I know about Perfect Aces in this video. It's a very, very different trick and it works very differently. There's a little subtlety added to this that makes it perfect, in my humble opinion. This one's a lot of fun. I think you're going to enjoy yourself in this video. I certainly am. What about you, Charlie? There's no need for that, is there? Without further ado, go get yourself a deck of playing cards. I am Daniel Madison and this is Perfect. Just for this explanation, I'm going to be using big piece of paper, Charlie. I wouldn't recommend that you use one of these whilst performing. Maybe get like a billet or something small to write on it. I always find that it's a much better idea from a performance point of view to always see if you can find something like this in the environment that you're performing in. If you turn up to a performance with something like this, it just feels and it looks too prepared and too obvious. Whereas if you were to turn up and say, anybody got something I can write on and something I can write with even pulling a Sharpie out of your pocket can sometimes be a little suspicious. I always ask first, every time I always ask, By any chance, does anybody have a marker or a Sharpie? COVID! 9 times out of 10, somebody will say, yeah, we've got a marker. Always much better idea to use somebody else, to use borrowed objects. Even playing cards, we'll talk about that in a future video. So if you can find a piece of paper in your performance environment that you can write on both sides, which is an important part of this trick, then that's ideal. So I mentioned in the last video the whole premise, the whole crux, is that the word, Charlie? Crux of diamonds is something called perfect aces. And that's what I'm going to teach. This is the method in this video, so it's very similar to diamonds. However, in this case, we're not going to keep control of the full deck of playing cards because the reveal of those 4 playing cards is more important for the trick and it's more exciting. I switch this up every now and again to guide my audience and my participant in Susan Sausage far away from the method. And there's a very, very sneaky little trick about to happen in this trick. So, paper, pen, deck of playing cards that is thoroughly 100% shuffled by Susan Sausage. In any performance, if you can get your audience, if you can get an audience member, a participant, a Susan Sausage to shuffle the deck, then that increases the beauty of the magic by about 40%. Don't know what I'm talking about. So the deck's thoroughly shuffled, and the secret is in when we're looking for the playing cards that we're going to write down. We take the deck and we spread it face up, and I need to offer this illusion to my audience, to Susan Sausage, that I'm looking at random playing cards throughout the deck. And the secret is I'm not actually doing that. I'm looking near the top of the deck and I'm going to write down every second playing card, so every second playing card from the top, and I will upjog these to show you. So in our case, it's going to be the 5 of diamonds, the 7 of diamonds, the 4 of clubs, and the king of heart. So that's every second playing card from the top. Now, when I'm looking through the deck and writing down playing cards, I take a mental note. I remember these 4 playing cards, but I don't write them down straight away because I'm going to look over here to this side, and then I'm going to pretend that I'm writing something down that is over here when really I'm writing down the 5 of diamonds. So that's going to be my first card, 5 of diamonds. I do the same thing for the next 3 playing cards. I look somewhere in the middle, write down another playing card, somewhere towards the top, write down another playing card, but really it's just these 4 playing cards. So 7 of diamonds. Does that look like a diamond? Yeah. 4 of club. And then king of heart. It is obviously important that my audience don't see what I've written down, or at least my subject participant, the person that's helping me, the Susan Sausage who's helped me shuffle the deck. By all means, it's a beautiful thing. If you wanted to show these playing cards to the rest of the audience and not Susan Sausage, it's a beautiful thing because it makes it feel more impossible, because any suspicious, what am I looking for? Any suspicious audience member is going to think that you could have switched this note at some point, and you don't want that to happen. You don't want them to think that. So as soon as you've written those 4 playing cards down, you don't have to touch this ever again, right? So you put it near Susan Sausage, you give it over to her, then you give her the pen. Now I'm going to close the deck. I'm going to put the deck face down like this, and I'm going to step back again, not touch anything, and I'm going to say write down 4 numbers between 1 and 52, 4 positions. It doesn't matter if these numbers are consecutive or not, because we're going to do that for them afterwards. So if they start with like 40 and then write 2, it doesn't make a difference which order it's in, because we're going to control that once it's happened. So just for the sake of an explanation, let's go with 4, let's go with 10, let's go with 18, and let's go with 27. So 4, 10, 18, 27. We know that those playing cards that we've written down are not in those positions. Also, worth mentioning at this point, we do need to see these numbers. Everybody needs to see these numbers, and that's kind of the point of this trick, that they, at this point, can kind of start excuse me, they can kind of start to imagine what's going to happen, what we're playing and what we're doing, what's coming up. So we leave this on show. Remember, we don't have to touch that ever again. They keep the pen. I'm gonna now take the playing cards. At this point, I would say anybody who hasn't seen Diamonds, use that video as a reference point. Go back to that, because I'm not going to teach everything in that video to teach you this. Essentially what's happening, we're going to do consecutive bottom deals apart from the positions of these numbers 4, 10, 18 and 27. The difference here is that there's a playing card in front of each one. So you might think that this makes it a little bit more difficult for us. It doesn't. It in fact makes it easier for us, and it allows us to make this look even more fair than it actually does. What do I mean by that? The first playing card that you deal is fair. So when they see that fair deal, and I say I'm just going to deal playing cards onto the table like this, they saw a genuine top deal. We now know that our first playing card is here, so now we do consecutive bottom deals counting up to 4, right? So the first one's real. 1, and now 3 bottom deals, 2, 3, or should I say 2 bottom deals, and then the 4th position, what they believe to be the 4th position is actually the 2nd position. I'm going to put it down here, face down. Now it's up to you if you put it face down or face up. I'll put it in frame, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but for now we're going to keep these face down. That's 4. Now the next position is number 10. The next number is number 10, but we know that the playing card that we need is 2 down, is 2nd from the top, as before, because we're starting again. This allows us to repeat what we just did. We can do a fair deal at this point, so we can do this one really slowly and really fairly and have them believe that yes, the playing card is coming from here. So once again, now we've got 4, we're dealing to number 10. So I go top 5, 6, bottom deal, 7, 8, 9, and then the 10th playing card, top deal really fairly, and putting it here. We know that that's our playing card. And just to show you, just for reference, we've got the 7 of diamonds and the 5 of diamonds, right? We're back to the same position. We've got a fair playing card here that we can deal fairly. It's a random playing card. Very perfectly coincidentally, the king of diamonds. So we're going to do the same thing up to 18, starting with a fair deal. So we've got 10, 11, now the rest are bottom deals. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 fair, right? Because this is the playing card that we need. The 4 of clubs, we put it here. And repeat the same thing again, one more repeat. So I'm going to take a fair playing card from the top, and I need to count up to 27 from 18. So it goes 19, the fair card. And then the rest are bottom deals once again. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and a 27 playing card, which is the fair one, which is our final playing card. Now we can put all these cards down here. Now the first revelation and the most obvious revelation that we're going to start with is turning these over with a false expectation. I want my audience to believe that I've controlled them to deal 4 very specific cards. So a typical Magic audience would look at this and think, oh, hold on a second, Charlie. They're going to be the aces, aren't they? Where I usually would do that for perfect aces, but this makes this trick so much more beautiful when these are random playing cards. And I'm going to play up to that. So I'm going to turn the top one over, and I'm going to say, you chose the numbers, right? You chose position 4, 10, 18, 27 from a deck that you shuffled. I wrote something on the other side of that playing card. Let's look at the playing cards. King of Hearts. Now I'm going to do this, I'm going to go King of Hearts. 4 of clubs. 7 of diamonds, 5 of diamonds. And I'm going to pretend that I've got it wrong. At this point, they're going to believe something's wrong. First of all, I'm acting like, oh my god, something has gone wrong. This Machiavellian idea that you see so much used in Magic, in my opinion, is underrated. It's underused. The idea of making somebody believe that you've done it wrong and really you've done it right is a beautiful thing, but you have to learn how to do it right. Don't overact. Don't go, oh no, I've done it wrong. Don't overact. Just be subtle. Like my subtlety is more in my body language, like the behavior of my facial structure, Charlie. So at this point, they believe it's gone wrong. I'm not going to say it's gone wrong, obviously, because it hasn't. Now, I'm going to turn this over slowly, or ask them to turn it over slowly, and they're going to see 5 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 4 of clubs, king of hearts. And something so much more important that I want to go back to when we're dealing those playing cards, more importantly dealing the 4 fair playing cards that sit on top of these, an idea that we can borrow that I've seen used by so many people. Tamires, Danny Ortiz, from that kind of European, Spanish, I guess, Portuguese style magic, the whole jazz magic. I am a jazzicist magician after all. Is that correct, Charlie? To show you this beautiful thing, we're going to change it up a little bit, and we are going to look at perfect aces. So forget these playing cards for now, but we'll use the same positions as examples. So I'm going to take the 4 aces and I'm going to put them at separated by 1 card at the top of the deck in the exact position that we need them in. 1 card between each ace at the top of the deck. Different card ace, different card ace, different card ace, different card ace. Right, if I want to take all those playing cards, those 7 playing cards, and have them copped, Gambler's Cop, I couldn't go another video without Gambler's Cop, Charlie. They're all Gambler's Copped face up, like so. As I give the deck out to be shuffled, I stand back with those cards waiting. They give me the deck back, I load them on top. So now I've loaded my aces into position. I spread the deck. I do the pretend thing where I'm looking through the deck. Now I close the deck and then turn it face down. Now I'm going to go into the trick. Let's forget about the psychology of this. There's a huge discrepancy in this idea of how they predicted 4 aces, and the whole point of me having to look in the deck for the aces, it doesn't make sense when you really think about it. That's why I prefer this version. Nonetheless, to show you this beautiful thing, to demonstrate this beautiful moment borrowed from those people aforementioned, the whole kind of Spanish, Portuguese, even like from the world of French magic, there's this beautiful idea now that we can do. So let's stick to the same numbers. Remember, this time it's aces. I'm going to do a fair deal, false, false, and this is my fourth card as far as they're concerned. At this point I can do something beautiful. I can say, look, this is the 4th card. If I'd have stopped here, I would have got 6 of clubs. If I stopped here, I would have got 7 of hearts. This allows me to now put this 7 of hearts down here and show this as an ace. Now the next ace is here, so I'm going to do some more bottom deals until 10, right? So we've got 4. There's 4 there actually, so now I go 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once again, this is the 10th card. If I'd have stopped here, I would have got a king of diamond. If I'd have gone 1 more, I would have got an 8 of clubs, but no, you stopped me on an ace. Now I'm going to turn the 8 down, and I can use it as a fair deal because they've already seen it, and do the same again. Right, 10, 11, false, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, another bottom deal. Oh, sorry, a top deal for the 18th because this is an ace. And we're going to do the same thing. Put it here and say, look, once again, if you'd have gone 1 more, you would have got 3 of diamonds. Or if you'd have stopped here, it would have been jack of clubs. But no, you stopped me right here on another ace. And the final card, 27. So we know that there's an ace on top because I've just got rid of the 3 of diamonds, this card on top. Now it's all bottom deals, all until position 27 from 19. So it's 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the 27th point card. 1 more, it would have been 7 of diamonds. 1 less, it would have been 10 of spades. But no, you stopped me on the 27th card, and that is an ace, and that is perfect aces. That was perfect. No, Charlie, that's not arrogance, it's just the name of the trick. Perfect aces, depends what mood you're in, depends what you want to call it. If you use this trick or diamonds or any of my tricks on social networks or here on YouTube, put a hashtag Daniel Madison on there so that I can seek it, so that I can find it, so I can enjoy it and perhaps give you a little bit of feedback. There are a few different ideas, a few more things that you can do with this principle that I'm going to save for the Alliance only over at madison.ist. I will be back soon with some more dope tutorials. Just make sure that you're subscribed so you get my notification bell going ding every time I drop a new tutorial. Now, what most of you have been waiting for, the deck giveaway. Somebody who left a comment, a funny comment on my last video, on the Diamonds video, is gonna get all of these playing cards. RJ's Warrior playing cards. This is a prototype deck, a very special deck. Daniel Schneider's Black Casino Club Special, My Face, the King of Diamonds in there, very special deck. Pink Madisonist playing cards, very rare deck of mine. We've also got the Farthings from my boys Troy Tobias in this in Scarlet. Those pink Jerry's Nuggets. Also the Remedies playing cards, the Standard Edition and the Private Reserve deck. All these I'm going to throw a little something extra in there as well for the winner, and I'm going to personalize any of these decks that the winner chooses. There is a runner-up that had me laughing, so we're going to get to him first, and then we'll announce the winner of all these playing cards. David W. My therapist suggested that I tell my wife about my magic trick addiction by writing her a letter, but I just can't pick up a pen and tell her. I've heard it before, it's not even funny. But the lucky winner is Paul Moody. All these decks of playing cards are going to you. Paul, you left such a beautiful poem. It really brought a smile to my face. It almost had me in tears. I keep reading it over. I'm sure I've heard it somewhere before, but obviously it's an original of yours. Paul, thanks for being so poetic. Thanks for putting a smile on our face. To be honest, the amount of comments that were left on the last video was incredible, overwhelming, and it was almost impossible to pick a winner, but by a few miles, that beautiful poem by Paul really stood out. So Paul, I'll be in touch. All these decks are yours. For those who missed out on the deck giveaway, don't worry, I'm going to be doing so many more giveaways. We're going to get to talk about some of these as well, which I'm going to start giving away in my videos. I'm also going to do a few more premieres because I had so much fun in the comment section, in the live chat box with that video. It's so good. To everybody who was there spending time talking to me personally on that day, thanks, I had a blast. But for now, and until next time, that is everything. So, Susan, thanks.
Sod off, you loser.
Welcome. So from Charlie Madison, and I am Daniel Madison. That was Perfect Aces. I'll see you next time.